Hello, and welcome, guys, to the next live stream for the Minnesota gameplay. Today, we are going to be continuing our past live stream in which, and by the way, Philip, it is literally the afternoon. Please get with American time. But yeah, basically we're going to be continuing our gameplay from yesterday of the Gabe Vogel from Ramsey County, Minnesota. We are in the 127th House District of Minnesota, the 42nd Senate District, and the 4th Congressional District of the state of Minnesota. So today, or last time, here is my election history. We are just a part of the City Council for the City of St. Paul, and we are looking at a mayoral election this year. Basically, I'm going to be throwing my hat in the ring for the nomination for the City of St. Paul, the mayoral election of St. Paul. And let me go over to jobs. We got some city laws going into effect. We have that's a school law. Universal preschool and comprehensive professional development have been established. Social services and universal background checks have also been established, along with a lower tax rate. So let's go ahead and come over here to jobs. Let's go ahead and apply for that mayoral position. And we're going to go economic. We are going to increase the per capita income, lower the poverty rates, and let's reduce the crime rates. Let's immediately attend a rally. We're going to be doing some door knocking. I literally see crimes committed on a daily basis. Nice. Who cares about you? No one cares. I really don't. New mods, nice. Hell yeah. Government spending helps the economy. So we got economy, crime, and poverty. So let's go ahead and upgrade our event manager if we can. Finances, let's go to week 2. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to improve him. So let's go ahead and do that. So that improves our audience size. Let's go to rallies. It's going to cost us $3,000. So we're definitely getting a lot of turnout to these rallies. Interview. Alright, cool. That's really helping us. Let's just be doing those. Getting these rallies on the road. Go to television ads. Let's go ahead and support some higher minimum wage. And campaign, let's see, we are running against the incumbent, so we will have a little bit of a hard time to actually defeat him. But let's go ahead and check that. Gabe Vogel, we are actually in the lead against the incumbent mayor, 57-43. Any chance of doing Tennessee in the future, PG? If so, I challenge you to do it as a Republican in the Democratic county. Good luck. Yeah, that would actually be a really good idea. So since I'm actually... Well, actually, I'm not really doing anything different. I'm playing it as a Democrat in a Democratic state. But yeah, that would be pretty interesting if I could actually run for certain... Let's go ahead and go to poverty. Let's support Social Security. And definitely as mayor of St. Paul, I am going to improve a lot of things. I'm going to try to fight poverty. I'm going to be introducing budgets that are actually comprehensive and allow for better funding into certain areas. And we're just going to be increasing this voter turnout. Let's go ahead and shoot for about 20,000 voter turnout. Maybe even 15,000. Let's go to interviews. And let's go ahead and get some fundraising done. Let's do 20 hours of fundraising and a rally. It's actually automated events. So we have rallies that we can do. Let's just do 50-50. 10-1 rally to 10,000. Let's go to this. It's going to be very close. Yes, and right at the end of the election, 86,000 to 66,000. Very, very hard-fought election, but Gabe Vogel has now become the Democratic nominee for the mayoralship of St. Paul. So we are finally going to represent the Democratic ticket. The hard part is over. Party demographics are in your favor, so as long as we do not lose our base, we will win this election. So finally, we are able to... we're going to go ahead and get these rallies on the way. And we actually still have that automated, I believe. Do we automate? Yes, 50-50 for rallies and fundraising. Everyone joining the live stream, again, welcome to the live stream. I really do appreciate it. I'm actually going to go ahead and get a... Let's go ahead and continue to get some of these. Fundraise for 35 hours, raising $7,000. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Let's go back to automate. Okay, there we go. I was like, seriously? I'm gonna try to get that up to 30,000. Another question, PG, will you be doing live streams every day? I have been doing them for the past couple of days every day, so maybe, maybe not. If it's beneficial that I actually live stream every day for now, then maybe. Otherwise, I've just kind of been doing it because I really want to continue what I've been doing with these, like, you know, with these. I really did enjoy yesterday's live stream, so I really wanted to do it. By the way, everyone watching right now, thank you all for joining in, and if you can, go ahead and leave a like on this video. This getting everyone to like the video while you're watching really does help me out, so if you can, just go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you are new. I am going to be producing more content like this every week, so if you are interested in seeing more, again, subscribing to me really does help me out. Let's go and improve him again. It's going to improve our rally sizes. And then finances 8,000 to 1,000. And let's just go ahead and get our field offices on the way. Let's get that independent votes. Do a questionnaire. And then the general election. Apparently we did really bad on taxes. However, absolutely swamped this candidate. 181,607 votes, or 77.2% of the votes, to 53,761, or 22.8% of the vote. We have finally won an administrative position, so we are going to be representing St. Paul as the mayor of the city for the next 4 years. So congratulations to my campaign for that, and we are going to come over here, message from campaign opponent, and he congratulates us on winning the election. And then next year we are actually, what do you think Biden and Bernie will choose as a running mate? I really don't know on that part. I'm not as much of a political analyst as I've tried to be. I really cannot tell you who I think would be able to you know, be a running mate. I don't even know. I don't even really pay attention to their campaigns that closely. So if you were to ask me, I really, really wouldn't be able to tell you. And there's not like a specific Democrat that I would actually support. Actually, slightly Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg is a pretty good candidate in my eyes. I didn't vote for him in the primary whenever Texas came around, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, I kind of did enjoy him as a candidate for the Democratic Party. And he was someone that maybe I would have even voted for. Yeah, and we also we also have a deficit that we need to get rid of. Public safety spending went up for some reason. Let's go ahead and go to the new year. And then State Senator Kendra Carpenter has decided to retire and will not seek re-election. And then Representative Susie Jarvis will not seek re-election. Alright, welcome to your first term as mayor. This is your office, and this is where we'll conduct all of your operations. Whenever an activity is added to your schedule, you can find it in the summary tab within the office tab. If you want to create your legislation, you can go to legislation tab and create that. If you have any campaign promises, you can find those in the challenges tab. Good luck, and let's go ahead and create our cabinet. Pete was the guest host for Jimmy Kimmel, took a shot at Tulsi. He's more of a political commentator with gaming as a side hobby. Yeah, kinda. It's kind of odd. We got 93. I'm gonna be going off of experience level and fiscal and social ideology. Let's stick with our current fire chief. Then we can change him in the future, I believe. 98. 87, 70, can we get... Yes, select. Go ahead and stick with him. And then city attorney. We have 93, 61, 75. Go ahead and stick with the current attorney. And if you guys can actually share this live stream, if anyone else is interested in something like this, please go ahead and do so. If you guys can help me get more people onto my channel, onto my Patreon, it really, really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. And again, if you guys are interested, please go to my Patreon and support the Agrarian Party. The Agrarian Party's goal is to unite the Dakotas and create the one superior Dakota that will reign over the entire United States. So again, go support Go support the Agrarian Party on my Patreon and become a member of the Patreon today and join the ranks. And then this is Chief of Department of Corrections, 81, 56, 75. Let's go ahead and go there. I honestly think AOC will be Bernie's running mate. I don't know. Is there an age limit on the vice presidential candidate? I really don't know. I think if AOC is his running mate, that will doom his campaign. I can tell you that for sure. Let's go ahead and get this guy, actually. We have a police chief, 88, 95. Ooh, actually, 85, 89. Okay, let's go with Benny Andrews. He's actually going to be able to do that. AOC is too young. And she is so controversial that any sort of way, let me look into this real quick. To serve as vice president, an individual must be a natural-born citizen, be at least 35 years old, and be a resident of the United States for at least 14 years. So yeah, she would not qualify as a vice presidential candidate because she is not the age to be the president of the United States. She's the first rep, not a good choice for a VP. First term representative. Yeah, but at the same time, she's still, you know, popular enough. But at the same, Yeah, I had to think about it. I was just like, I don't know if she's old enough to actually be the VP. And 52, 92. Let's go with Guster. He's more of a moderate. And then we have a 91% candidate. 88, 74. Let's go ahead and go with her. Just choosing a couple of new people. Hey, Politics Gaming, what happened to the America Run and Power and Revolution? That one actually is kind of like, you know, on hold right now. There was a reason why I stopped. And it was more of like personal issues. So I really did not get to continue it. But I am back on my YouTube. I'm back on my YouTube. I'm back to make content for you guys. So if you really do want me to continue the America series, I could. But the India series is the current series that is going on in Power and Revolution right now. And I think that one's going to be pretty fun. I still need to make another episode, which I'm planning on doing about today or tomorrow. 76, 78. Let's go with Dong. Blaine Butler. He's been in since 2015. And 70, 98. Let's go with Clark. Very liberal, very liberal. Let's go with you. You. 90%. Yeah, let's go with you. And then you. Alright, that was our cabinet. We finally formed up our mayoral cabinet. So finally, city law is going into effect. Excuse me, we are gonna get rid of that. Holy hell. Holy hell. I do not remember seeing that. False. Let's fight that. Let's pass the city council with the vote 11-1. Alright, here is our budget. Let's go ahead and come over here to Public Works. We're gonna be increasing. So we have $79 million that we can play. Oh, we $64 million that we can play with. Let's come over here to social services. We have foster care. Here's our other contributions. Total expenditure is $31 million. Federally, they're taking care of $17 million. The state of Minnesota is taking care of $9.1 million, and the city is only taking care of $4.4 million. Have you tried out the political machine yet? No, I have not, mostly because I have not been able to afford it. You know, that's why I'm making a Patreon. Super chats are always appreciated if you guys can do that. Whenever you guys, you know, do help me in that way, it goes toward my YouTube so I can be able to afford getting more content. So if you guys are interested and want me to do that, that's always appreciated. And then funding for social services programs, let's go ahead and give about $20 million to that. This is going to reduce the burdens of poverty. $46 million is left, and let's go over here. No. Let's do it at 6. And let's increase the poverty rates, property tax to 2%. And then others, let's go ahead and finances. What do we have? We only have a wheel tax. And then a gasoline tax. I don't know how much we would actually have to institute. So we would need the same amount of gasoline tax that the federal government institutes to actually get a roadway trust fund going. Interesting stuff. Tax revenue exceeds road expenditure. The excess funding is stored in the state's road trust fund. Let's institute a gas tax, and then let's put it at 11 cents, 10 cents. And then let's go to building. So actually here, public housing, let's see how much that's going to be if we go to 20%. Looks like the city and the federal government and state government are actually taking care of more of this than the city actually can. Oh my god, we can actually... Oh, wow. Huh. We can go up to nearly... We can go up to 80% before the city actually starts paying for public housing. Okay, let's put that at about 50%. And let's change this to 85% of that. Interesting. Force them to pay more. I don't know how to get the federal or state government to actually pay more, but apparently our share is not going to go up until we go over a certain amount. So that's actually really interesting, and that's only because the state and federal governments are actually taking care of it to a point to where we can increase it to a certain amount before the state and federal contribution actually exceeds. Actually, oh, I get it. Okay. The reason it's doing that is because the total expenditure of public housing is not exceeding the federal and state share. So let's do that. So yeah, 220 million. So 220 million plus the 50.9 million that the federal government is actually giving us. All of that is going up to a certain amount. So we can spend up to $270 million before it exceeds that amount, and then the city actually starts paying a share for it. So let's actually increase that to 70.5, so the city actually is taking a little bit of a share of that. Alleviate that poverty, you just increase your eligibility until the federal can't pay anymore. Yeah, or actually it's the state that's actually paying the most in it. So in this case, the state of Minnesota is going to be paying $220 million. The federal government is going to be paying $50.9 million, and then the city will be taking up $14.07 million. So hey Jordan, welcome to the live stream. So that's actually really interesting to. Oh man, I actually never noticed that. I never noticed that in the in the first times I've ever played this. So eligibility rate is going to be 70% of the federal poverty line, and then percentage of the city government paying will be 85%. And then what else do we have? We have emergency homeless shelters. We have state contribution that we will be getting, so we can spend $5.4 million in state funds before the city has to take it over. There's no federal program for it, so we will not be getting any federal dollars for that. So let's try. It's not letting me do it. I guess it's because it doesn't have a finalized budget request. There's no budget request actually from it. Is this your first stream? Don't forget the likes. Hey, there you go, Jake. Now you know how to be a moderator. Yeah, I've seen Jordan here a couple of times. Community planning and development grants. Let's go ahead and do that. And then give them about $30 million. It's going to leave us with 77 million bucks. And then building commission. Let's give them $3.5 million. But this public housing was actually that's actually really interesting. That's really interesting to find out. So again, for basically anyone who didn't understand, so like I raised this down. Total expenditure for my program is going to be $220 million. That is completely covered. The city does not have to take over anything because the state government is paying $220 million of the program, and the federal government is paying $50.9. So then I can spend upwards of $270 million before the city even has to pay a dime for it. So again, we're going to be putting that to about 70%, and then the city government will pay for 85% of the individual's rent. And that's going to cost us $14 million. And then provides funding programs is permanent housing programs. Total budget request is $17.1 million bucks. The federal government is providing $13.8 million for that program, and then the state, for some reason, is only providing $2,045. And then the finalized budget request is going to be 3.3, so we can spend up to $3.3 million before the city even has to pay anything for it, but I'm not going to institute that right now. We have emergency homeless shelters. Okay, here we go. And then here, we do not have to pay a dime for it because the state is covering $5.4 million. So we're going to be giving these guys some money. Let's go ahead and give them full amounts of funding. Actually, no, the city is still doing it. I don't know, I guess. I live in this state. Oh yeah, I remember now. You were actually, I think you were one of the ones that actually suggested I do Minnesota. And in this budget, let's go ahead and get an energy assistance program going. Let's give them $5 million. So that's going to leave us with $70.31 million in my mayoral budget. The city council is going to change it accordingly so they can like approve or disapprove of it, but most likely maybe they can actually eliminates the assault weapon ban. Let's go ahead and support that bill. And then we have 7 bills that we have introduced into the legislature. And we have a city property tax that is going to be... Oh, the city council actually approved of it. Only 1 Republican voted against it. Let's support. Then we have gasoline tax. They passed it. It's going to be 10 cents. And I completely forgot to... the native Minnesotan. Haha. Then we have cannabis sales tax. We increased that to 6%. Public housing. Program costs approximately $284 million, which is equivalent to 50.7% of the budget. This will increase the expenditure by $234 million. This legislation will provide public housing assistance to 37,000 eligible individuals, increasing eligibility by 29,000. And then when are they going to release this game for Mac? I have no idea. I don't know. Please don't ask me. And that program should be offset by the state and federal programs that we were looking at. And then support. And energy assistance. So all of my bills got passed by the city council. Interesting stuff. Finally, we actually are able to get our agenda passed. And that's our budget revenue right now. We have revenue coming in. God damn it. $21 million is coming from the state, actually. It's going to be registration funds, state vehicle registration funds. Good, I really want to play this game. He's been working on it since Monday. Yeah, actually, I think that's actually going to be his next one. 90% of our money's coming from the property tax. That's our deficit right now, or surplus. And then here's our education, but we can't control these. These are only controlled by the school district. Let's go ahead and go to the primary elections. Hey, what's going on, DRS? Welcome to the live stream. I have a really bad cough on me right now. HR1, let's see what this is. This is a decrease to the income tax rate. And that was vetoed by the governor. Huh, interesting. This was a decrease in the first tax bracket to 4.8%, second bracket to 6.3%, and then the third bracket to 7.2%. So it was an entire tax decrease. And then politicians, elections, statewide, we are looking at no gubernatorial race. State Senate, we are looking election in progress. Golly will be representing, that was a narrow win in the primary. Both primaries in this district were actually very narrow. Our incumbent representative will be representing himself. He actually was unopposed in the primary. And then the Republican primary was pretty close, I guess. I mean, that seems like it. Federally, we are looking at Elmer Griffith, who is going to be representing the Democrats against Benny Bowie. These elections are pretty one-sided. Senate, are we looking at 52 to 47? I don't know if that's because I actually have the election difficulty on easy. I don't know if that's because. It's not about, I try to increase tax so I can pay the debt. Let's go ahead and go to the next, minimum wage. Let's go ahead and do that. Establishes an assault weapons ban. And the city council has overturned my veto with a 2/3 vote. Fine, let's go ahead and leave it. City budget process is finalized, and the new budget has been passed by the city council. You'll be able to view the new budget at the beginning of the year under the new budget tab and the metrics tab. So that's interesting. I don't know why these elections are so close. Oh, we are looking at a presidential election. And let's go ahead and watch the presidential election. Elmer Griffith did win our House district, 40.5%. Let's go ahead and watch the Electoral College trickle in. And Virginia and North Carolina are voting different. Interesting. Republicans are in the lead, 129 electoral votes. Missouri has been caught by the Democrats. Pennsylvania, this is going to be close. Oh no, this is going to be 203, 238. Republicans are really sucking in. And Democrats narrowly take the presidency. 281 electoral votes, 67 million people voting for them. Republicans actually won Florida. The Democrats won the presidency without the states of Florida and North Carolina and Nevada. That was an interesting election. They won Ohio. Wow, that was a hard-fought election. Senate. Rodney Bland will be representing the state of Minnesota from here. 59, so that's kind of a closer one. Let's look at other elections. Republicans gained 57 seats nationwide. They actually gained in the states of Maine and New Hampshire, as well as Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, even Ohio and California. Look at all that red. Senate-wise, we are looking at 3 Republican seats being gained. So we are looking at possibly, let's go to politicians, go to federal. Okay, we're looking at a Democratic House, but a Republican Senate by 56. That was an interesting election. Look at all these split states right here. Look at all of them. Let's look at some of the federal departments. We've got Department of the Treasury, $20.6 trillion. This is $62,000 a citizen. Federal government paid $436 billion for interest payments on the national debt, which is approximately $1,300 per citizen. These funds did not reduce the national debt. They only solely to provide interest payments to debt lenders. Actually, collecting taxes, supervising banks, and providing fiscal policy recommendations to Congress and the President. And wow, we got 15 people in this live stream right now. Everyone who is watching right now, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please share my channel, go to support me on Patreon. The more you guys can actually support me, the more can you even pay off the national debt. I have seen it go down, and I think I've seen people able to get a handle on it. That I do not know. I've never played as the president before. I've never, you know, actually been able to do something like that. So I really would not know. Got no elections in 2021. All of these, look at that. Eliminates the assault weapon ban, and then it was established again. Alright, let's go ahead and meet with our cabinets. Everything is going fine at the fire department, so we don't need any changes right here. Number of police officers increased by 13, and then crime increased by 0. We're running smoothly, keep providing us with a healthy budget, and we will keep performing well. So we can actually probably try to give them some more money in this next budget. 66% of roads are in good condition, probably roughly 42% of roads experience some congestion, reducing traffic flow. And then Department of Corrections, we have no recidivism programs instituted. As long as you maintain positive treasury balance, the national debt will decrease over time. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. And city and state-wise, I've been able to do that, but not federally. 100% of those have access to homeless shelter. And homelessness has decreased by 43%, so that was actually from our budget improvements, and we're going to be continuing those budget improvements over this time. And we actually 958 all the way up to just about 1,300 homeless individuals, and then that drops down to under 1,000 again. So we're really helping ourselves out. Unemployment is at 6%. Underemployment is at 10%. And then state of Minnesota. I have a lot, it's kind of starting to trickle down, but we do have a lot of sheltered individuals, so that's good. This game got a problem with guns that you can't tax it and only increases the crime. Is there even a gun tax in here? Crime. No, there's just gun licenses and licensing programs. Oh wow, the state house is Republican. Oh, that's interesting. Minnesota can go Republican. History. Okay, so it was very narrow at the beginning of the game, and then the past couple of years it's kind of just stayed the same. State house. Okay, so the state house really likes changing. The state senate likes to stay Republican. Federally is pretty tricky since the majority of expenditures are for health programs, which means that increasing the payroll taxes until they cover at least 50% of the expenditure. Districts, rankings. Wow, if I run, I can run for state house right now and I would become the speaker. I have so many political points right now that I would be able to do that. Ooh, we are going to be running in 2022. Oh, Parks and Rec. Good condition. Good, good, good. Let's go to the next day and go ahead and form this city budget. Let's go over here. And Broadway Trust Fund. Social services. Let's give this about $25 million. Public Works, Human Resources, Social Services. Let's... Building and housing right here. So that's staying the same. 14 million bucks. Okay, so that always gonna be the same because of the state and federal contribution. We really need to pay attention to the federal and state governments just to make sure that they're not going to be getting rid of public housing programs, especially during Republican administrations. Meaning that your remaining expenditures will be less than if you don't do them. It also means that corralling Social Security, road, and unemployment trust funds will be easier. Interesting. Emergency homeless shelters. Let's give... Can we do this? No, it doesn't. It's not letting us do that. No budget request for that program. Let's give them 25 million bucks. And finalized budget request is gonna be over $5 million. Let's go ahead and do that for energy assistance. And a police department, let's go ahead and give them... They have $151 million. Let's give more to criminal investigations. Instead of giving it to the actual police budget, we have no additional federal or state grants. So that would actually, if I ever run for... have almost 1.5 billion campaign funds, nice. Building, housing, public safety. Corrections, city attorney. We have a jail budget. Let's go for drug courts. There is a state contribution of $53,000. Finalized budget request is going to be $6.8 million. And we can afford that, so I am actually going to go ahead and establish drug courts. And then... Which actually, there's actually no... what do you call it? Punishment for... drug offenses, and I actually want to check on that, so let's go ahead and submit this budget. That's going to be my budget. Guess that wasn't introduced. Poverty is definitely going down over my last budget. Economy's going up. It's improving. Pour a lot of money into televised ads on Social Security and Universal Preschool, max out staff, and don't bother with rallies. Rallies actually are doing a lot for me. I mean, they've been able to save a couple of my my campaigns. So let's see what the dropout rate is now. This actually did change academic poverty. More academic purposes for dropping out than poverty purposes. Poverty... Let's... Oh, crime, actually. Let's go to crime. Drug offenses. We are looking at 40.2%. So that's kind of going down, but then at the same time, prisoners by category. Violent crime is going down, actually. Drug crime should have gone away. Did I even get rid of that? Drug crimes. Yeah... Pass the City Council 10-1, and let's go ahead and support and sign that bill into law. Oh, that was the city tab. Or that was the state tab. I'm stupid. Metrics. City. Police officers is kind of going all over the place. Drug crime still the same. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Drug crime. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. Crimes by category. These are crimes. And then we go over to prisoners, and then there's no one in prison for drug crimes. Then those are our gun population. Let's increase, since we actually have the money for it. Let's go to budget, see what we got. $1.1 million in the tank. But let's go over to create legislation. Let's go to other. Let's go to violent crimes. Let's increase this by a half. Let's go over here. Alright, we're gonna go through this year. And politicians, state governor, 20,000 political points. We have 3,000. The highest in if we were to run for state house, we would be able to. Let's see what's going on in the 2022 elections. That was a message that the budget process has ended and it's going to be finalized. Governor Brandon Schultz has decided to retire and will not seek re-election. Let's immediately go for governor. I'm actually going to save. And let's go for governor. Mayor of St. Paul is going to be running for governor. Let's go ahead and get this done. Canada must be 30 years old to run for election. How old are we? We're 27. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's apply. Abe Alwyn. Select. Let's increase. Let's reduce the sales tax. Pass a free preschool program. Let's do some crime reform as well. Or total crime, actually. Max out staff, PG, yep. Let's attend all rallies. Go to finances. Already getting that much in money, so let's go ahead and max out our staff and open a couple of field offices. I know my mic has actually been muted this entire time, so if you guys are wondering why I haven't been talking, I have had my mic muted, so don't worry about me. For whatever reason, we're really having a hard time. Okay, okay, thought you had a stroke. Yes, I am having a stroke right now. Please, please let me have a stroke. Looks like we are actually doing really well in this gubernatorial race. Let's go ahead and do another poll. Let's do a voter intention. And Gabe Vogel, 54 to 46 against Susie Jarvis. Susie Jarvis actually seems familiar. Who is she? She is a U.S. representative of Minnesota 4. She's actually our current representative. We are running against our own representative right now. Election, state, no, federal, house, no. State, Minnesota, we're from Minnesota 4. Yeah, Minnesota 4. She was campaign, rallies. Let's go ahead and attend all rallies. She didn't rerun, happens often. Yeah, see, that's sometimes why it confuses me. Alright, this is our last one. Let's go ahead and attend all these rallies and do one last... And... Alright, we have finally won the nomination for the gubernatorial race for the Democratic primary. We will be representing the Democratic ticket on this, in this gubernatorial race in 2022 actually. Hard part is over, the demographics are in your favor, so as long as you do not lose your base, you will win this election. Let's go ahead and open about another few. We're just going to be doing a lot of rallies to turn out the populace. Let's go ahead and attend all rallies. 6 rallies and fundraisers, $72,000. Nice, PG, you got this. Hell yeah, I do got this. I'm finally going to win an actual statewide office. Am I automating these? Oh, I am. Economy-wise, we are doing horrible. Let's run an ad for economic growth. Yikes. It's getting us a lot of money, actually. Alright, we are going to do this. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just do the rally with the congressional candidate. And then do a fundraiser with the congressional candidate. And then let's run one more ad for universal preschool. Education is really something that we're pushing for. Let's do rallies and go ahead and go to the general election. This is most likely going to be a landslide victory. We're probably going to win every single county with how much turnout I actually put up. 75% of the vote right now, 78% of the vote. We're about to win Ramsey County in a couple of seconds. We already won this county right here. Washington County still has not called in. 78%. Wow, we are dominating our Republican opponent in this gubernatorial race. Not even a single county is going to be voting for him in this election. 21% of the vote is going toward Mitchell James. And we have finally won a gubernatorial race on my live stream series. Thank y'all all for supporting me. This is not going to be looking as it will in the next 4 years. We have gone from a mayoral candidate all the way up to a statewide office. We are now in the governor's mansion of the state of Minnesota. And state senate elections, state house. It was a complete landslide victory for us. Awesome, awesome, awesome. State House, Democrats gained 36 seats in the state house. State Senate, I don't believe we actually even had an election. Federally, we are looking at Democratic gains in 6 states. Colorado, Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania have all flipped to the Democrats. His turnout flipped state house. Yeah, I believe it was actually the state house. Okay, the state house. Yeah, so turnout, doing the rallies actually does help you turn out a lot of people in certain districts. So you can actually win landslide margins in the House and Senate for those. So we're actually no party. Well, actually, it's not even in. I guess it's only whenever it coincides. What the guy actually needs to do, he needs to be able to. On election years actually go campaign with people so we can actually do that. Let's go to the next. No incumbents are retiring this year. State Senate isn't up when governor is. Yeah, see, he needs to add a feature, and basically whenever you're like the governor or you're like a statewide candidate, you can actually run and campaign with people. Can you? Are you able to do that? You campaign with candidates while in office, even on whenever it's not on an election year? Current director, 73, 79, 52. Let's go with 79. We're gonna stick with a lot of the same people unless they're very more experienced. Let's go ahead and go with 97% experience over here. Let's go with 98%. 97. Current guy, current. I guess if it's above 85, I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with it just so I can get over this faster. Third parties could play spoiler and make things interesting. Yeah, it would be pretty interesting. President's campaign with midterm candidates. The game isn't set up with third parties that actually work. Yeah, it doesn't. Let's go with 96, 87. Legislation. Let's go ahead and go for the first state budget. Go with education. We're gonna advocate for free community college soon. Higher education grants are maximized. We do have full day kindergarten actually, and these are all mandatory expenditures. Yeah, that's why winner-take-all systems like the Electoral College isn't the best. Yeah, show of hands in this live stream. Who supports and who opposes the Electoral College? School improvement grants. Some school districts cannot generate enough funding to produce high-quality schools. These grants attempt to address the issue by providing additional funding. Let's go ahead and do that, and then let's provide them with about $50 million in funding. State funding to local education. We have... Actually, let's get rid of that. funding. Okay, our budget deficit is $524 million. So we do have the money to do that. Let's give it 50 million. And then increase this to $6,500 per student. No, actually. 63. Yes, I am the governor of Minnesota. I actually did win in a landslide victory against my opponent. So yes, I finally actually won a statewide office. Academic higher education grants. Let's go to state university and college funding. So actually, the cool thing about this one is actually provides funding for state universities and colleges, and then more funding means lower tuition rates, which means more students are attending college. So instead of attending, going for free community college, you can save the money by just investing in a state university and college funds. So let's go ahead and invest about another $200 million into state universities. That's going to leave us with $271 million in our surplus. Insert 2016, 2000, and 1992. Yeah, right. No state trust fund or no healthcare trust fund. Got nearly about $1 billion in the state road maintenance. Then local healthcare, which is why the winner take all electoral college is a sham. What happened in 1992? Actually, what happened there? Was that I mean, I know that was the Ross Perot, Clinton, Bush election, but what was so bad about that one? Then mandatory expenditures. We do have this instituted. So it's 80 and 70. Community planning, corrections, natural resources, financial services, professional licensing agency. Let's go ahead and add an additional 500,000 to that. We have full funding in all of these. Department of Homeland Security, state museums and historical sites, Department of Commerce, and Department of Employment Services. Universal School Breakfast. We have a federal contribution, so we would only be paying $29 million into that. Should be based on popular vote. Also, some states like Rhode Island are overrepresented with their electoral votes compared to Texas or California. Based on their population, Texas and California would have more votes, while Wyoming, Rhode Island, Montana, etc. would have less votes. Well, at the same time, that was how it was supposed to be. Because just so less populous states have more representation, less populous states are given more electoral votes on at a base than bigger states like Texas and California. That's how it's supposed to be. Because I've seen that argument being made time and time again, and it's very overplayed. Over and under representation has to do with the allocation of the House seats, and yeah, that's also a big thing. Alright, let's go ahead and submit this state budget over to the legislature. It's granted your bill a hearing has been approved with the committee. So that actually was... It's going to be state. HR2. Governor Gabe Vogel. That was grants to improve low funding schools. Passed the State House 97-37. It has gone into the Senate, and it has been passed by the Senate committee, and has been rejected by the Senate 33-34. Wow, that was a very close vote. Damn it. That sucks. Method used should be changed, and what is your suggestion to that if you have one? If you don't have one, it's fine, I'm just asking. Instead of hunting and hare, it needs to be either Wyoming rule, where all states are apportioned by the least population, are apportioned by the least populated congressional district. Need-based preschool. Let's go ahead and try to get a universal preschool program. And this is going to cost $1 billion, but it's going to get past the House. I don't think it's going to get past the Senate. It's past the State House. Yep. Chairperson Raphael Pratt has refused to grant this bill a hearing. Let's go ahead and go over there. Let's get a protege into his position. Elections, politicians, State Senate. Committees. That was the Education Committee. Raphael Pratt, he is from District 38. So let's go over to my office, go to Protege. This is going to be District 38. Let's move you, State Senate districts. You're going to be going to District 38. And move you other state senate districts. Let's move you into a more competitive district. I don't believe it should be a winner take all, but you should get the votes proportional to the percentage of the vote that you get rounded to the closest whole number. See, I can get why you would want to do that, but then at the same time, I don't know. It's such a hard topic. Let's go for District 39. Challenges, events, jobs, party chair for the city campaign committee. Contact all organizations. I already thought I already had that for some reason. Party, got PACs. No bills going through the House right now, interestingly enough. So that's better than what I have, but still it has the same problem. Yeah, I mean, like, both of those things, and I still kinda don't. The winner will truly be representative of how well they did instead of winning 50.00001 of the vote and getting it all. I think the way Maine and Nebraska use their congressional districts is a good way to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's through a proportional system. That's what the discussion is about. Because the way, whenever you hear people talking about a proportional system, they're really talking about the way that Maine and Nebraska do it. Primary education funding. Universal preschool, low-income school grants. Let's go true. Let's go with 100% of the poverty level and $500 per low-income student. It's going to get through the committee in the House. Pass the House, 118 to 16. Has been approved by the committee, 16 to 7, and it goes to amendments and a vote. Oh, it passed the Senate, 41 to 26. Nice. Alright, and the House and Senate versions of the bill will be sent to a conference report. And I'm getting all of these right now. Grants to low-income school districts. Bill analysis. It's going to provide $47 million to help fund local school districts. Some of this expenditure may be offset by grants from the federal government. Several studies have shown that increasing education expenditure can improve test scores, graduation rates, and future wages. This results only if the increased funding is consistent over a long period of time. Let's go ahead and support that legislation. Are you going to play Power and Revolution? Not right now. I actually do have to head out soon. Pure proportional means that the votes themselves would decide the allocation for the electoral college. Well, okay, it's either you get rid of the you have the electoral college the way it is, or you get rid of it. I highly doubt there will be a proportional system. That's the only way that you can do that is by not amending the Constitution, which I honestly think, and I don't know if you guys have actually heard this. It's the Interstate Compact, National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Basically, it's a piece of legislation that a lot of states are actually able to pass, where basically whoever wins the popular vote nationwide wins their electoral college votes, and it will only go into effect once enough states to take over the electoral college once enough states that can overtake the electoral college sign on to the bill. Now, I really, really hate that bill. It's honestly the worst alternative, and it's actually about to get passed. And then at the same time, there's going to be a lot of controversy whenever the state votes one way in the electoral college. CGP Grey keeps pushing for that compact, but then at the same time, why in the world are you actually pushing for something like that is so unconstitutional, so illegal? Like, it's stupid. I mean, the Constitution perfectly allows the states to allocate the electoral college votes however they want. Alright, see you, politics. We'll see you in the next live stream. And by the way, for those watching right now, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to support the Agrarian Party and their fiendish deeds, please go to my Patreon and support the Agrarian Party there. Please join my Discord, which one of my moderators may actually post in the chat while you guys are watching. And other than that, super chats again are always appreciated, so if you guys can, go ahead and leave a super chat. Wow, the state senate and state house differences are very, very bad. God, I want to change the Senate. I need more Democrats in the Senate. No, I honestly don't think that the Interstate Compact is even constitutionally viable. It's not, like, it completely circumvents the Constitution, and it would face legal challenges out of the ass if it ever even tried to go into force. Alright, city laws, sales tax is going down and student welfare committees have been established in the school district. Not only one law was actually passed in this last year. Let's go ahead and create the state budget, and I'm going to go ahead and head out for today. Okay, we have, looks like federal Medicaid is actually, yeah, federal Medicaid expansion is actually passed. Interesting. Let's put this at 95%. And then funding for social service programs, let's put that at $50 million. Mental health, let's go ahead and give that an additional 10. Transportation, let's decrease, no, let's put that at $700 million. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislator thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives which the state may be entitled in Congress. But no senator, representative, or person holding office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed as an elector. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, Damien. I've actually never seen you here, so welcome to the live stream. Ooh, city police grants. Let's get that passed. Let's give him $200 million. And then... taxes, not treasury. That's going to be down in... financial services, other expenses, housing... Yeah, trust me, I know what the Constitution says about it. It's just, at the same time, proportional systems, if we're still using the Electoral College, unless we amended the Constitution, proportional systems were more likely than not end up in ties where the Congress, the new Congress, would have to appoint the president. And so a proportional system is more than likely, unless we change the amount that they needed to win the Electoral College, they would suffer more. So that's another reason why I don't support a proportional system and why I support the winner-take-all system, is because I do believe that the winner-take-all system right now, at least, is a better way to do it than the other alternatives that we are actually looking at. Constitutional amendments are unlikely to happen and is likely to be challenged. Yeah, exactly. Like, even if the compact was even attempted to be used in a presidential election, there would be legal challenges like we've never seen before. Family and social services. Discretionary. Don't think I can mess with Medicaid benefits. I think that's all to the federal government now. Division of Aging, Division of Disability and Rehabilitation Services. Let's go to health. No, let's go to education. Oh, education for non-English speakers. Interesting. Let's add another $200 million to state and university funding. I cannot wait for the button to use last year's budget. I cannot wait for that. It will, and will end up in the Supreme Court. Yeah, exactly. And I think the Supreme Court would probably even shoot it down because it's literally trying to circumvent the Constitution. And the people who created it are using it to circumvent the Constitution. So if you're using something to circumvent the piece of the document that is making the country what it is right now, in not going by the laws that are set forth by that document, then yeah, you're gonna get shut down. Grants per comprehensive professional developments. Let's say no. I disagree on the circumventive argument. That's literally what it is. I mean, if you look up anything about the compact, it's literally telling you that the only way to get around it, because they know that they're not going to be able to get rid of the Electoral College by amending the Constitution, so they're circumventing the Constitution. That is the goal of the compact. That is literally what it says, and I can pull it up right now if I need to. Academic higher education grants. Let's also give about another $100 million into that. $201 million. It's going to leave us $96 million left. That's going to be my budget. Then that is going through the House and Senate. This is for foster care. Oh, it was amended. program uses federal funds to help states provide foster care services, so at least we're getting a little bit of an increase in it. PG's right there circumventing it, but I think they're doing it what they believe is a good idea. Yeah, I mean, of course you're doing it because you believe it is a good idea, but at the same time, I don't agree with the fact that they're trying to circumvent the Constitution. If it was by constitutional amendment and it had a lot of support behind it, then yeah, I would support it, but I don't support it because they are trying to circumvent the law that is making the electoral system. And if you're instituting an electoral system that is not amended by the document that the country lives by, then I am not going to support something like that. That is pretty shitty. Looks like my other bill did not get passed. HR 2 passed in the Senate 118 to 16, so I guess it's about to hit my desk. So those foster care city police grants, that was the other one. All right. Let's go through these and get rid of all of these. Vehicle registration tax, what is that? So this is actually a portion of the revenues distributed to local governments, and it's also to help you use road construction. So right now, vehicle registration is $50. I think we should do it the way the founders originally wanted, which is for us to elect the electors who then meet in Washington to vote. Is that like in a literal sense, or like, you know, because I mean I think it's because they are actually picked. The other thing is that basically no one is going to give a crap. People care about it now, but if we were to get it all done today, and then about 50 years from now, people go around, like, the turnout is going to lower and lower and lower as the years go on. People are going to give less of a crap about it, and that's the reason why the founders did it that way, is because they wanted to do it in a way, because they know that's why our democracy is the way it is. That's why we have a Congress that votes for laws for us, and why we don't have a lot of referendums that we even have to deal with, because oh my god, I can insert ads whenever I want. Hey, who wants to see an ad real quick? No, but basically, like, like, that's why we don't have referendums that we deal with, is because the country, people don't care. People don't care until it starts to affect them in a certain way. So Congress is the one that kind of, like, you know, deals with it, like, in their own way, why you elect your electors. So if you're electing an elector, I don't know, it's a really complicated subject. Tutoring grants, comprehensive, abstinence only is federally mandated. Damn it. Alcohol tax, tobacco tax, and gasoline tax. Let's go ahead and, wow, $3 a pack whenever I change it. Nah, that's not a lot of money. Alcohol, 45 cents a gallon. Let's go ahead and increase that to $1. Pass the committee. Alcohol tax, let's go ahead and support. Sign that in the law. Alright, and guys, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right here. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please go support me on Patreon if you haven't. Patreon is in the description of this live stream. Leave a like on this video if you haven't. Go join me on Discord if you want, and then we're going, we have a lot of fun over there. My Patreon and my Discord are going to be very interconnected over the next couple of weeks. I really want to start getting more and more people onto my Patreon, because that's going to be fun, forming the agrarian party in its fiendish deeds. So if you're interested, go support me on Patreon and leave a super chat if you want right now. And guys, I will go ahead and leave it right there. So guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. And most likely I'm going to be making India over the next couple of days. You'll be seeing that very soon. And then Minnesota will definitely be going on. We'll be going through, maybe even running for Senate in this next election. So again, if you like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.